Hey guys, and welcome to Table Talk Tokyo. I'm your host Menya, and today I'm here with Nagi, who is a Pilates teacher with a studio right here in Ebisu called Rebirth. Tell me a bit about yourself.
I was born in Japan.
Okay.
I was raised in LA. I was through all my elementary years. So from 6 years old to 12 years old, I was in LA.
I did not know that. There's going to be so much I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And then I came back to Japan.
Yes.
I went to an international school for junior high and high school.
Okay.
Even though I lived in Japan for
Majority
of my life,
Yeah.
and I haven't had a Japanese education.
Interesting. Okay. That might be just an interesting starting point. So because you, like Risa, she was born here and then she lived in LA from like 2 months to 17.
Yeah.
So she's basically more American than Japanese.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're similar? Like in that sense, do you feel more connected to Japan or abroad in a sense?
I think I have I'm like both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably not more American than Risa.
Yeah.
But I do have my American side and the abroad
Interesting.
me and then the Japanese me.
What do you think those differences are? I just had someone on recently. I don't know if you know her. Her name is Ruri. Ruri. She's like a gymnastics teacher based here in Tokyo. I think she's maybe 28. She's moving to Canada in January because she studied abroad there and she loved it. And
living abroad was also one thing, but coming back and going to an international school, my friends were from all over the world. Of course, the States, England, Iran and India, and and it's so you can't have this box kind of. There's so many
and do you think
cultures and
when you think about that experience for yourself, is that something you think is a net benefit or a good thing? Or
definitely.
And why?
Because it gives you a broader perspective of things.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see things with a bigger picture.
Yeah. And so do you think someone who's maybe born and raised, I think the same, by the way, I think the same thing as an American. I think if you're born and raised and you stay in America your entire life, you miss out on the worldview. And I think there are tons of Americans, unfortunately, who have never left their home state or have never left their region, whether it's the South or the Northeast or whatever. And they might just think of that as being the world, that the worldview. But the worldview is relative to your environment. And I think if you can get out of your environment, then you can really start to see the world from a bigger perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Interesting. Okay. So now you're living in Japan. You run Rebirth. What's Rebirth all about? And that Pilates, how did you even get started?
I started Pilates as a client. Stopped playing tennis after starting work. Starting to work.
Okay.
And then I had a breakup with my boyfriend, and I was kind of mentally and physically not in good shape.
Okay.
So I thought, all right, I gotta do something to move my body.
Yeah.
And so I started Pilates, which was the most interesting thing, thing that I kind of wanted to do.
Okay.
I liked it with 3 or 4 classes. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be doing this for a long time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the moment?
It just it felt good, and so even though I was tired after work, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll just skip the class, right? But after taking it, I was like, it rejuvenated me, and it gave me more energy than
before.
Before taking the class. So suddenly my teacher says, so what do you do?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Where did it sit? That's so awesome.
And then she randomly says oh, maybe you'd be good in this, being a teacher.
Industry, being a teacher. Cool.
It's I did not know why she had said that, but it got me thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started looking, and then so I was I found a studio, or I found a training. What do you call it?
Certificate, a course?
Yeah, course.
Okay.
But I also wanted to learn from the person who made, the course as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like
the original.
The founder. The founder of that
specific course.
Yeah, specific organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did this end up being like? I only know DK really. It was something like DK or different.
Oh, it is DK.
Was it DK? Okay.
Yeah,
It's like the only
yeah.
because of Risa.
Yeah.
I hear these things, but DK is the name that I keep hearing. Okay.
Yeah.
And DK Pilates was started by not a Japanese person.
No.
It's
DK
like a
is
woman in
Dolly Kellepes.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
DK.
Okay.
And she was a Las Vegas.
Correct. American.
Yeah,
Yes.
like dancer. Okay. So, and then there was this course where I can actually go to Las Vegas and take it from her.
Cool. Is that the one you did?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. And this is like a 1 week or a month or 2 days or.
The course was a month,
okay.
but I actually saved for 3 to do my observation hours and my teaching hours as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I just...
So you just quit your OL job? Yeah, Ija. I like the whisper like I
Yeah.
No, that's great. So you do your 3 months in the States, including your observation hours, and you finish all that, and then you're certified and ready.
Yeah, so I'm ready.
And then you came back to Japan.
I came back to Japan. Well, while I was in the States, I was able to meet the CEO for Bassi.
Okay.
Japan.
Okay.
Yes, Japan. And yeah, after coming back, he was like, okay, come and take a trial class at Bassi too. And I didn't want to work at a sports club.
You did not want to?
I didn't want to. I wanted to work at a Pilates studio.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to different Pilates studios and I took the class with Bassi.
Yeah.
And it was a class where her name is Yae, and she was the top instructor for Bassi Japan.
Here in Japan.
Yeah, at that time. And she studied in the States, Bassi headquarters.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, I took her class, was like, all right, I want to work
for Bassi or here. Okay.
Yeah.
And this was at a studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Nakameguro.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
you had just been certified in DK.
Yeah.
Okay. You just spent 3 months getting certified in DK. Okay. Am I hearing this right? Okay. All right. Almost okay. Is there I assume, I don't know what the Pilates space is like. Is there any kind of rivalry or competitive element between Bassi and DK and whatever? Or are these people all friends and they all get along? Or
I think there's more of it now.
Okay.
And
with Pilates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, if I'm DK certified and you're Bassi certified, are we gonna look at each other like, I'm better than you, or is that not a thing?
Some people really
do.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and they're like, and then when somebody, I've heard from my friends,
so interesting.
And when people say that, I took the Bassi course, and they're like, oh, Bassi. I was like, no.
Oh wow. Okay.
So scary.
Oh wow.
I think it's everywhere.
Okay. And is it just Pilates, or is that also
like
yoga?
The organization itself.
Yeah.
Like we say classical Pilates and contemporary Pilates.
Okay.
And there's this kind of like classical versus contemporary thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is like nonsense to me.
Tell me about it. I don't know. I've never heard the term classical Pilates or contemporary in my life. I have no idea what that means.
So like classical Pilates is nobody named it classical Pilates, but I guess people are starting to say it.
Okay.
So it's sort of that training course that does the Pilates how Mr. Joseph Pilates did it.
Correct. And the founder, creator, Joe Pilates?
Joseph Pilates.
So that was actually, I remember, I'll let you finish, but I remember being surprised by the fact that I always thought Pilates was created by a female. Just the way, no, I think this is, trust me, I'm pretty sure for most men, this is their assumption. Oh, Pilates is for women. It was started by women. When in fact, like, Pilates was started by men, and I think it was actually created for men, but, and then it's, I think if you look at a Pilates class now, it's probably, I assume, at least in Japan, there are probably more female participants than male. Like, so I think most men just imagine, like, oh, Pilates
9
is
to
for
1
women.
or 8 to 2.
Yeah. When in fact it was started by a man kind of for men, and then it became this big thing, right?
Yeah, he was this macho
guy. Guys don't know that. I only know that because of Risa, but like, men do not know that. But that's relevant. I shouldn't say that, but I think most men are completely unaware that that is the case.
Yeah.
So anyway, so classical probably relates more to the way Joseph Pilates originally intended
and then
it to be.
they don't change the way that he did it.
Okay. And then contemporary is like Bassi DK, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
More, I guess, if you divide the states, the East Coast is more classical, the West Coast is more contemporary.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not like a matter of right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's just different characteristics of that organization.
Correct.
Or I think difference is good.
Yeah.
Difference is okay, and there's more variations if you know those differences.
Correct. So right now, mainly what you're doing for work is working with private clients at the studio at NBC Rebirth.
At the studio, and also because of Corona, I started to teach online workshops for Pilates teachers.
Okay. What is your favorite thing about the fitness industry?
My favorite thing about the fitness industry?
And fitness is a broad term for like yoga, Pilates, personal training, whatever. If there's one thing you really like about the industry, what do you think it is?
What I like about the industry is that that everybody it's very welcoming. But for people who are good, they really study, they really have a broad perspective, and they're really passionate, and those type of people are the people who I really drawn to,
okay.
And
awesome.
Want to know more.
The lifelong learner, self-improvement types. Cool.
And
I agree.
Like more open-minded people.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I agree with both sides of that. We live in a time when we want to make everything accessible. So if somebody wants to try something, like, how do we make it accessible to that person? So if somebody wants to become Pilates certified, how do we make it accessible? You could use like Pop Pilates, the American format, as an example. There are Pilates movements involved, certainly, but it's not necessarily, by any stretch of the imagination, probably classical Pilates. It's like completely different. It's aligned, it's synchronized to music, and it's a very different kind of thing. But for lots of people, it's been transformative. And so you have to ask yourself, like, it's the good and the bad. The bad could be like any person anywhere can just create something random and then like sell this thing. At the same time, the good is that just people, the more people move, I think, and I think most people would agree, especially in the industry, like, the better. Like, if more people just moved in general, regardless of like the perfect movement, if more people just got up and did things, we would be better off. And so if these formats are making that possible, it's probably like a net win for humanity.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you think is your personal philosophy, if you haven't already talked about it, but kind of your personal philosophy around health, wellness, fitness, movement?
Like what we were saying, like, to get people moving, and also like the way I teach Pilates is, I guess, a little bit different, because I always want to say that whatever is good for that person is correct. I totally understand. There's no right and wrong way of teaching, or there's no right and wrong way of modifying that exercise, as long as it
works.
Yeah, it works for that person.
Yeah.
And if that person's body, gets better or it moves better, then you're on the right track. And
yeah, I'm with you. I completely agree. I think it's very subjective.
Many are like, even for people who are taking my online workshops.
Yeah.
I sometimes see their faces and they're like, "Oh, we can do that."
Yeah. Yeah. Are you working with lots of Japanese people?
Yeah.
But do you think that has a lot to do with Japan being highly structured and people thinking like there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that plays a big part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you just say like it's okay to do this thing, they'd be like,
yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, is it okay? It's like, I'm like, why not?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Interesting. And that's obviously the influence of you.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then if you're going to tell somebody, if you were going to give advice or counsel to somebody maybe like you, back in 2006, wherever you were when you started getting into Pilates, somebody who's interested in getting more involved in specifically Pilates, but it could be fitness as a whole, what do you think you would say to him or her? The easiest way to do it might be to talk to yourself. So if you're going to talk to yourself 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before Pilates, what do you think you'd say to yourself? Before
Pilates?
Correct. So you're talking to OL version of you before you've done any Pilates. What do you say to you?
I would probably say start with, a move, a type of, like a form of movement that interests you most.
Okay. And it could be anything. It could be yoga.
It could be anything.
Go to the gym, basketball, whatever.
Yeah. And for me, it was Pilates.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. and so it could have been something else.
Yeah.
So do what interests you, and if you like it, then that's great.
Yeah.
If you don't, it might be that you don't like that kind of form of movement.
Yeah.
But it also might be that you're not really kind of, you don't have the right vibes with the teacher.
Toka. Okay. That's probably an important one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would not like, okay, I'm going to do something else, but maybe go to different places where they do,
that kind of thing.
Yeah, you can do the same thing, but with a different teacher.
Okay. That's a good point.
When you become a freelance instructor,
yes,
you're on your own, basically, right?
Yeah. So this is like counsel to freelance instructors.
Oh yes, I guess so.
Okay.
Okay. You're on your own, and there's nobody that would give you any advice because there's nobody who's like watching over you.
You're your own boss.
Yeah, you're your own boss.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's important to actually have a role model or actually have a mentor or a person who you would like to be, or like who you want to be taught from, or because for me it was by meeting my mentor Kathy Corey, it was really one of the most precious things in my life. Yeah.
Amazing. And so basically having a mentor, do you think it gave you more direction, more clarity, more she inspired you?
It was I was able to feel more confident, and that I was teaching in the right path.
Okay, as opposed to being a freelancer and just guessing. You felt like you had clarity. Interesting. Clarity is a word that's come up in these conversations a lot. I still think it cannot be overstated. I think finding clarity is everything. And if you can find clarity, it just all of your decisions become easier to make
Yeah.
because there's that's you just know where you're going.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. So advice to that's advice to a freelance instructor or teacher, Pilates or anything probably. Find a mentor or role model almost.
Role model, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Nagi, for joining me today.
Thank you.
And guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe, hit the notifications button, and give this video a thumbs up. And thank you again, Nagi, for joining me. I love the direction these conversations take. And if you guys have questions about Pilates in general, her studio Rebirth, which is based here in Ebisu, how she got started, if you're looking for a mentor, like she mentioned, I mean, there you go.
I'm flattered, probably flattered, but yes.
So feel free to drop comments in the comment section below. You can reach out to her directly. I'll keep all her details in the description of the video. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.